Hi there. Today I'm looking at some Riojas, particularly from the producer Marques de Riscal, and the wine I'm starting with here is the 2016 version of their Gran Reserva. In fact, it's the, you can see their 150th anniversary version of the Gran Reserva. So this is a selection from within their Gran Reserva production. So particular lots that have aged well are selected to go into this wine. It's a blend of typical Rioja varieties, so it's predominantly Tempranillo, 90% Tempranillo, with 8% Graciano and 2% of Malzuelo in it. It ages in seasoned French oak for 32 months in barrel, at least 32 months, and then spends 3 years aging in bottle before release. So a wine with long aging, and one assumes that the flavour characteristics and the aromas are going to reflect that. So let's have a look at this. Looking at the colour, it's got a nice, relatively deep, dark ruby colour, maybe a tiny touch of purple at the rim, but not particularly so. The aromas are incredibly complex and very developed. There's a richness there. There's a sort of a licorice note predominantly. There's forest floor. Behind that, there are intense, deep, dark fruit. There's sort of, I suppose, there's a freshness of plum, but then there's the maturity of prune. There are notes of darker sort of stone fruit, things like bullace, dams, and that sort of thing there. But predominating is this sort of earthiness, forest floor, sort of dried leaves, and a black licorice note there, sort of an intensity to the aromas. So tasting it. Gosh, what really comes out on the palate there is this sort of intense black licorice. There's good acidity, so there's a sort of a licoricey bitterness almost, and a real sort of zing to it. The structure is smooth. There are tannins there. There's a little bit of drying, but there's not a sort of a real astringency. They're much more sort of velvety in their nature. The sort of red and black fruit is sort of much more to the behind. As I say, the what's dominating there is the sort of licoriciness there. I guess there's a little bit of spiciness. There's that forest floor. There might be hints of cedar there, but they don't stand out. They're integrated with the fruit really nicely. The wine is relatively full, although not huge. I mean, the bottle says it's 15% alcohol, which there is a warmth and a richness to it, but the concentration of the fruit, that sort of intense licoriciness, is balancing that really quite nicely. And I guess the freshness of the acidity is keeping it alive, and it's giving a nice length of flavour to it. The other thing I actually think is really quite impressive about this 150th anniversary Gran Reserva is that it's a sort of a special selection, and yet price-wise, our average price on this for the 2016 vintage is below $50, $50 US. So for a wine that has the potential to age for a couple of decades, but yet is fully mature on release, I think that's a great pricing. As long as you like this sort of more mature style. I mean, it's not a bursting fruit forward style. It's got complexity, it's got structure, and a lot of richness in there. So yes, Marques de Riscal, 150th anniversary Gran Reserva. Cheers everybody, thank you for watching.